Despite the fact that Kevin has been 5 inches taller and about 80 pounds heavier than me since grade school, I am and will always be his older brother. Although physically Kevin and I may differ quite a bit, we actually have a lot in common. We share many of the same interests, beliefs, convictions, and yes, even fears. And at the top of this list of fears is actually public speaking. So I'm really nervous right now, if you can't tell. So despite all of my initial efforts to try to dodge this best man speech, ultimately I did decide to overcome my fears because even in my heart of hearts I knew that if there was ever a place, time, and a person that was worth it, it was right here, right now, and it's my brother Kevin. So while preparing this speech, I came across a quote that really spoke to me. The quote was simple and powerful and devoid of all the unnecessary fluffy stuff that a family consisting of 4 crazy Irish brothers try to avoid at all costs. So the quote was this: because I have a brother, I will always have a friend. You see, me and Kevin were only 17 months apart. I literally cannot remember life without him. When Kevin was born, I was just a baby myself. My mom has plenty of pictures of us from when we were babies, where I'm trying to sit on his lap. Despite my family teasing me that even at this young age, I was trying to control him, the truth is that this was one of the only ways that I knew how to show affection at that age. I sat on my mom's lap, so I didn't see why I couldn't sit on my newborn babies. Kevin also had a very distinctive cry when he was younger. When he was upset, he would cry out, "Nah, nah." Being the concerned older brother I would immediately alert my mom and tell her, Mom, the Nana's crying." Because of this, Kevin actually earned the family nickname Nana, which we called him much longer than any of us would like to admit. So I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but the reason I'm telling these stories, and there's hundreds more just like these, is simple. It's because I've loved Kevin from the very moment he was born, and I've never stopped. Kevin and I grew up together, not grew up in the sense that we merely shared the same roof, but that we experienced many of the same things for the first time together. We went to the same preschool, we went to the same grade school, high school, and college. We had the same babysitters, had many of the same friends, played on many of the same sports teams, and attended many of my mom's epic field trips together. We even went to our first concert together, but I'll let Kevin decide if he wants to actually admit what that concert was. You guys can ask him later. Although I've always been protective and loyal to Kevin as his older brother, as anyone who's ever tried to mess with him has felt my wrath and attest to it. It wasn't until college that our bond really evolved into the mutual respect and the lifelong friendship we have today. Whether it was sharing a fraternity, sharing a major, sharing an apartment, or the first time truly sharing our feelings, emotions, and our trials and tribulations as we mature as boys and men, I am forever thankful for the way that slew, and yes, even I have alpha, forever changed our relationship for the better. Although you may have forgotten about it, I still remember one moment in particular we shared outside of the lofts, where you were having some second thoughts about your major, and we talked for hours about a bunch of stuff, and we really laid our feelings out on the line. This may have just been a passing moment in time for you, but it meant and still means the world to me, even to this day. Like I said earlier, I have 3 brothers, and we've never really been into public displays of affection or mushy stuff. Instead of hugs and I love you, we prefer to show our love, loyalty, and our affection through things like buying each other drinks, teasing each other, food, beating the crap out of someone who messes with another brother, etc. However, occasionally we do bump this track, and when that happens, it really does stick with you. So with that being said, I actually am going to read a birthday card that Kevin wrote for me almost 10 years ago. I've kept it all these years, and he probably doesn't even remember writing it. So I really hope this doesn't embarrass him, but this is the card. Mike, I know that I always say that I'm glad you moved out, but really I miss the advice, our play fighting, but most of all, someone that I can talk to about my problems that I have. It might seem as though family is not the most important thing to me, however, you couldn't be more wrong. Every single one of you is the most important thing to me in the world. although you, Mike, hold a special place in my heart. Since I was born, you've always been there for me whenever I needed you. You were always there when I needed help with something when no one else could help. Anyway, I just thought that you should know this. Best of luck at college, man. I love you, man. Happy birthday. I'm so proud of my brother and the man that he has become today. My brother is a member of a much more important fraternity now. He is a member of the St. Louis Police Department. He is literally a hero. He risked his safety, sanity, and sacrifices so much to serve and protect the vulnerable. I'm incredibly thankful to him and the rest of his law enforcement colleagues for everything that they do. In fact, I'm actually going to go off script here for a second, and I would like all of our law enforcement, firefighters, EMT, to stand up for a second. Stand up to get a round of applause for them. So you see, in a profession where Kevin sees the worst in humanity, he gets to come home to the best of it. Nora is everything you would want in a sister. She's kind, she's funny, she's smart, compassionate, and most importantly to me, she loves my brother. And this is high praise coming from such an overprotective brother too. As Kevin will tell everyone, Nora is the first girlfriend of his that I've ever liked.
That's true. That's true.
Wife now.
He's been upfront about all of it though.
Although there are many reasons I think Kevin and Nora are such a great match, perhaps most impressive to me is their unconditional dedication and loyalty to each other. In a society obsessed with instant gratification and selfish desires, Kevin and Nora made a long-distance relationship work and overcame obstacles that lesser couples never could have. Through thick and thin, Kevin and Nora have emerged even stronger and more in love than ever, and I can't envision a scenario in which they won't live together happily ever after. So, if everyone could raise their glasses, I'd like to make a toast. Because I have a brother, and now, because I have a new sister, I will always have a friend. Welcome to the family, Nora.